Hey, so my name's Rob. I just had gastric surgery 3 weeks ago, specifically the gastric sleeve. The reason I'm making this video is because I know myself when I was looking into this, there are resources out there and there are thousands upon thousands of videos, websites, and a lot of them say different things. A lot of them will tell you this, the other one will tell you this, and it can be very confusing. Now, anything I'm about to tell you right now is my experience, so don't sit here and be like, well, that Rob guy, he told me this. Well, Rob says a lot. Um, so, what we're looking at right now is the gastric sleeve. That is what I had done. I'm going to kind of touch on why I did it, the preparation, surgery itself, recovery, and then the diet since then and how I'm feeling. Just to kind of throw it out there. It's also going to be a little bit of a time capsule for myself, but also for anybody who's interested. If you stumble upon this video, if any of the advice I give or any of my experience can help you, that's great. I encourage it. Watch as many of these videos as you can prior to getting surgery. It's a big decision. I promise you, you won't regret it. So, why did I do it? Well, to be perfectly honest with you, I was overweight. I still am. Um, I hit my max weight at 460 pounds. Now I'm 6'1". I'm not a small guy, and from what I was told, I carried it well. But still, it didn't matter. I didn't feel like myself. It was a slow process over the years. A lot of mental health was involved, depression, anxiety, and those just compounded themselves on top of each other. And I found comfort in food, as a lot of us do. It's one of those things. I mean, we all turn to different things in our lives, whether it be drugs or alcohol. Some people turn to food, some people turn to sex, some people turn to anything they can think of. Well, mine was food. Have a bad day, get a pizza. Have a good day, get a cheeseburger. It kind of goes with things. So I found myself ballooning. I found myself just having trouble doing daily tasks. I mean, I would come home from work and I have a desk job. I mean, yeah, I have to get up and run around sometimes at work, but for the majority of it, I'm pretty comfortable. I'd walk up my front step and my knees would hurt, my back would hurt. I was out of breath, sweating. I ended up having high blood pressure. I became borderline diabetic. And I knew these things were just going to continue to keep occurring. It wasn't going to get better on its own. Very seldom do things, when left by themselves, get better. They usually get worse. If you don't do maintenance on your house, eventually that house is going to have some problems. This is my house. My body is a temple, and unfortunately, I was turning into the Buddha instead of anything else. So it was a decision that I had made. Also, I have a hernia, an abdominal hernia, and they refused to fix it unless I lost 150 pounds. Now, at the age of 42, losing 150 pounds without being able to exercise, I mean, it's possible, don't get me wrong, but I knew in reality, I probably wasn't going to get it done. And then I was going to have further complications. And having a hernia that gets strangulated, having a hernia that gets impacted, can be very dangerous. And I just didn't want to have to deal with that. So I knew the ultimate solution is weight loss, and why not add another tool to the toolkit in order to get this done. And that is one thing I'm going to stress right now really quick. A lot of people think that the gastric surgery, whether it be a bypass or a sleeve, is the ultimate solution for weight loss. No, it's a tool for your toolkit. It's something to help you. And it gives you a great advantage. But if you don't do everything else you're supposed to, you can end up right back where you were and you went through this whole thing for nothing. So don't be one of those people. Use this tool, get your freedom back. Because I can tell you, I'm 3 weeks in and I feel phenomenal and I have my freedom back. Um, so that was the main reason I did it, is I knew health wise the clock was ticking. And I'm not ready to go anywhere yet. So the prep, that I had to do. So I'm in Canada, so the prep may be different depending on where you are. Um, if you're over a certain BMI in Canada, the surgery is covered by our government insurance, OHIP. I can't speak for anywhere else. I don't know. And I can't remember what the BMI number is. I believe it was 45, and I was like 61. So I hit the target. So I had to attend a 6 hour Zoom class to learn all about the surgery and how the process works and everything from A to B. Then I had to have a series of one-on-one meetings, again over Zoom, because the clinic that did the surgery is 3 hours away. I had to see a nurse, a nutritionist, a dietitian, a social worker, and a pharmacist. And they all had to give me the green light in order to get this done. So, nurse obviously was reviewing my health. The dietitian and the nutritionist were looking at my current, past, and future eating habits, and they also stay working with you throughout the process. The pharmacist looks at any medications you're on to see if you will still be able to continue taking them. Because after the process is over, certain medications are harder on your stomach. Also, the medications, if they're in capsule form, you can't take those. So if they need to come up with a different type, or if you have to just start opening the capsule and putting the powder on like pudding or applesauce, that's fine too. And that's what I'm doing right now. And then the final one was the social worker. They evaluate your mental health. They want to know, hey, are you ready for this? Do you know what to expect? Do you know what's going to happen? Because a lot of people can make a very rash decision. Now, oddly enough, I am a social worker, so I deal with this kind of thing, not so much in terms of weight loss surgery, but in terms of other things. Um, Being in the right headspace to get this done is incredibly important. Um, Having suffered from depression, anxiety myself, it's a case of knowing what you're getting into, knowing that a lot of people, and I experience this, have a little bit of regret right after surgery because you feel terrible. And you think, why did I do this to myself? Well, you know what? You have to get through those little rough patches to get to the good spot. And if you're not in a good mental health state, you may not get through that little valley, and it's just not going to work, and you're going to have other issues. So it's something that they really take into consideration. So after you've had the green flags from everybody, um, and prior to this, they also request a litany of blood work to see where you are on all your levels everywhere. So that was done prior. After that, you typically get an endoscopy, which is a scope down your throat, just to see the current health of your stomach, to see the health of your stomach, the health of your esophagus, see if there's any masses, anything kind of going on. A lot of people may suffer from heartburn or GERD. I can't remember what the acronym expanded is, but it's also a stomach issue. They just look for that to see the overall health, because obviously you're having stomach surgery. They want to make sure your stomach is in a good state. So after all that is said and done, you have to go for one last appointment where you see an anesthesiologist. They kind of go over your health history to see what they're going to have to give you and how much, and if you are somebody who may have problems with the anesthesia or not. Luckily, I did not. Also, you had to have a little more blood work and a chest x-ray just to get the general state of everything, your lungs, things like that. So after all that is done, then you're on to the part that absolutely sucks. I had to do a liquid diet. Now, some people do 2 weeks, 3 weeks. I had to do 5. 5 weeks drinking 4 shakes a day. I was miserable. I was not a happy man for the first couple days. As a matter of fact, on day 1, when I was at work, I fell asleep at my desk numerous times, and at one moment, I had a dream about fried chicken. You know you're a fat dude when you're dreaming about fried chicken. But yeah. Other than that, I'm going to shine a ray of light on this. It sounds terrible, 5 weeks, but I will tell you this. On day 4, I noticed a difference in my body, a big difference in my body. The inflammation was gone. My legs didn't hurt. My back didn't hurt. I felt good. I was able to walk. I was able to walk much farther than I used to before. Um, I got this energy surge. It was like all the poison I had been putting in my body over the years, because I'll be perfectly honest with you, I ate like shit. I ate terribly. And just not having all of those processed sugars, the carbs, the fat, the everything just building up in you, all the sodium. I felt lighter. I was able to move better. It was absolutely absurd as to how much better I felt. So, and that only got better as time went on. I found myself all of a sudden, like, the idea of going for a walk before was the same as like me suddenly wanting to eat a pile of dirt. No, I don't want to do that. Why would I want to go for a walk? It hurts. Why would I want to do that? No, I'm like, let's go for a walk. And I'd go, and I was amazed at how good it felt, how my legs felt, how my back didn't hurt. It was almost like I was discovering what it was like to be alive again, to be honest with you. As sad as that sounds, that's the honest truth. I was cooped up in my house for many, many years. And all of a sudden it was like, I got a glimpse of what the future could be, and that motivated me. That kept me going, because I thought, if it's this different now, what's it going to be like here? It's only going to get easier. And it did. So as the 5 weeks went on, I went from, well, okay, let me preface this. I said I was 460 at my heaviest. When I weighed in to do right before it was time for the liquid diet, I was 440. Full transparency, over the weekend before the liquid diet started, I did go on a bit of a binge, and I'm pretty sure I put like 5 or 6, 7 pounds back on, because I knew this was my last hurrah. So I was about 445, I'd say. After 5 weeks, the day of surgery, I was 407. I lost almost 40 pounds in 5 weeks. It was an amazing feeling to be at the hospital getting ready for surgery, to be told that I had dropped that much weight. It was absolutely incredible. So now to segue into the day of surgery. Prep, prep, prep. Get everything ready you're going to need. Get everything they tell you you're going to need, bring it. Also, don't bring a bunch of food, because, to back up a step here, sorry, I had to stay in a different city for a week. How they do things is you stay one night in the hospital, then you have to stay 5 nights in the city, which was 3 hours away from where I live. So I had a Airbnb. So you obviously have to have your own food. And you're on a liquid diet still. Don't bring a ton of stuff, because I'll be honest with you, you're not going to want to eat very much, because I didn't want to eat very much after surgery. But bring entertainment stuff. Bring things for yourself to do. Bring books. Bring a video, like your Nintendo Switch if you have one, or a handheld, cell phone, headphones, a lot of comfy clothes. Just make sure you have everything you're going to need. And when you're at the hospital itself, the staff I had was wonderful. I have no complaints. They did everything they needed to do. I was comfortable. I was happy. They made sure everything was fine. I woke up from surgery. Everything was great. No complications. The only issue I've had, and this is a very common issue, so again, the area where they remove part of your stomach, if you're having the sleeve, which is what I did, because the higher your BMI level, depends on what surgery you have. I was a little bit too high to have the bypass, so I did the sleeve, in which they just, if you imagine your stomach as a pouch, they just take part of it off, and then your stomach almost becomes a tube instead. So that remnant that they cut off, they have to take out. So when they take it out, obviously they cut and it comes out. That wound they have to stitch, and they stitch it to your abdominal wall. Well, when you cough or sneeze, it feels like it's pulling on your abdominal wall, because it is. So that hurts. Um, have a pillow, squeeze a pillow, hunch over, do everything you can to hold that in, because I'm telling you right now, every time you cough or sneeze, you're going to think somebody's stabbing you. But it gets better. I'm on week 3, and if I cough or sneeze, it's still a little tender, but it's nowhere near what it was on day 1 or 2. Day 1 or 2, it was horrifying. But the recovery process itself, I spent the first night in the hospital, as was stated, and I laid in bed. They had me hooked to an IV. Get up and walk as soon as they give you the chance. That's another thing. They want you to get up and walk because of the risk of blood clots. As soon as they tell you to get up and walk, get off your ass and walk. They're not doing it to bug you. They're not doing it to harass you. They're doing it for your benefit. Because the quicker you get walking, the quicker you're going to get out of there. And I got out of there by mid-afternoon the next day. When I got back to the Airbnb, I spent a lot of time walking up and down the hall. I went outside a little bit. I spent quite a bit of time in bed, only because during the surgery, obviously you're intubated, so you have a tube down your throat. That causes scratchiness and phlegm and mucus. Well, then that was causing a cough. And the cough, as I said before, hurt terribly. So I spent a lot of time kind of laying around and relaxing. I had my girlfriend with me, who was an absolute saint. I cannot express my gratitude to her enough. She prepped anything that I needed, whether when I started eating, she was there. When it was time for medication, she was there. I can't say enough good about her. She's wonderful. I don't know if you'll ever watch this or not, but Cindy, I love you. Thank you. I can't thank you enough. Um, so the second last part is diet. Um, After surgery, you're going to be put on what's called a full liquid diet. Now, if you ask me what a full liquid diet was before this, I would think you're drinking nothing but like fluids, which is kind of true, but kind of not. Full liquid diet: applesauce, pudding, jello, broth, numerous things along those, anything that's soft and easy to consume. One thing that I did is I had my girlfriend and my mom actually made a whole bunch of either pea soup or bean soup. I put it in a blender, pureed it, and then I put it through a strainer, and it came out just liquid, and I was able to have that. So little things like that. One thing I can highly recommend, here's a book. I'm not getting any deals from this, I promise. Um, this is for the gastric sleeve. It has recipes every step of the way. Highly recommend it. Obviously, there's resources on the internet too to look up. I found this book helpful mainly because while I was laying in bed, if I didn't want to be on my phone, I had something to read. Plus, it offers a lot of advice of just what to expect. It has sections on meal plans, and then it even expands later to after you're back on normal food. Sounds funny to say normal food, but when you're back eating regular again, how to continue your progress. So get a book or print resources out, write stuff down, get things organized. I promise you, you won't regret it. Um, I'm at the stage right now where I'm beginning pureed foods. Now, it's very common to go back and forth between stage 1 and stage 2, full liquid and puree. The reason for that is sometimes your stomach isn't ready. Sometimes your stomach just thinks, I don't want that. I don't like that right now. Like for example, tonight I mashed up some potatoes, put a little bit of cheese, a little bit of some flaked ham, and a little salsa and mixed it together. And that's what I had. It was soft, it was pureed, but it had a little bit of meat, potatoes, some cheese, salsa, had good flavor. Um, I feel pretty good. Whereas I had scrambled eggs this morning and I had ridiculous indigestion. So again, depends on what you're looking at and what you're doing. So tomorrow I'm not going to have eggs yet. I'm going to give it a couple more days and then try eggs in the future and kind of piece together how things work. A lot of this is a journey of self-discovery. So don't get upset. Don't feel like you're not moving forward. In this stage, it's very common to go back and forth or to even blend them together. You find what works and you slowly expand upon it. So try to remember that. The last part of the video, how I'm feeling right now, I feel like a young man again. Um, okay, I'm 42. Like I said, I can do things that I couldn't do 2 months ago. Um, I can go for walks now that are 10 times longer than I've been able to walk in 20 years. I'm going to a concert in 4 months. I bought tickets on the floor, standing room. I never would have done that before because I couldn't stand for that long. Now, I have no concerns about it at all. My body feels good. I feel strong. My mental state is great. Um, the only kind of thing I'm still working on right now is a wardrobe. So I was a 6X shirt, 6X tall. Um, this shirt right here is a 4 and it's baggy. I had a 3X on earlier. My jeans, I was wearing a 58. 2 days ago, I tried on a pair of 52s and they were too big. So the weight's coming off. As of right now, I don't know exactly what I am. I have a doctor's appointment on Monday. On Monday, I'm going to see what happens and get weighed in. And then I'm going to come home, sync up my scale with that number and monitor it. But I guarantee you, I know I'm under 400 pounds. I'm probably 390 or in the 380s. And I have not been that low in years. So if you take anything from this video, and if you manage to listen to my ramblings for 22 minutes, first off, you deserve an award. But secondly, live your life. Do what you got to do. Take this step. This is something that was mentioned to me many times over the years, and I shunned the idea because I thought, I don't need this. I can do it on my own. I'm fine. Then the time would come to do it, I wouldn't do it. Now, I can do it. And I know I can do it, and I know you can do it. So, if you're considering this, get in contact with a clinic, start talking to them. I'm not going to sit here and tell you, yes, you should do it. But do the education, learn about it, figure it out, talk about it. It helped me. And I really hope that this video helped you. And if you get it done in the future, the best of luck. I wish you nothing but the best. So thanks for listening. Any questions, comments, throw them down in the comment section. I guess this is where YouTubers say like the video. I don't know, whatever. But yeah, other than that, thanks for listening and have a good one. Bye.